Well, this is a robbery suspect out of the Pomona area. Very high-speed pursuit. That white Audi, you see it right there. The only thing that's keeping up with him is the helicopter, and it's not just us. That would be the law enforcement. Now, this came out of the Pomona area and has been moving very, very quickly, taking a number of different freeways, and you can see it right there. Very reckless driving. This is a newer Audi. We've been watching it. Speeds up in the triple digits for most of the drive out here. And of course, you see it getting very close to a lot of other cars and cutting a lot. Of course, you see it getting very close to a lot of other cars and cutting a lot of these other vehicles off. Now, the helicopter that is above is making calls to the guys on the ground, basically being the California Highway Patrol. They're trying to get somebody into place to get behind this vehicle and to start to warn the public, get some distance between that driver and the public out here this afternoon. You can see those speeds. As soon as he gets a little bit of an opening, he really starts to open it up. I'm going to get a little bit of a wider shot right there, and you can see that vehicle continuing to move. Now, there is some talk, crosstalk, we cannot get this confirmed, that this may be an armed suspect, because law enforcement is not giving this one up. A lot of times when you see those very high speeds, that very reckless driving, they'll back off. They'll say, you know what, this is too dangerous. We have a plate. We kind of know what's going on. We're just going to keep the public safe. But in this case, they are staying with it, and they actually are trying to get California Highway Patrol units in the area to be ready for when this vehicle gets by, so they can do the lights and sirens and start warning the public and hopefully bring this pursuit to an end peacefully and safely.
Safely, ideally, because man, this driver is ripping through traffic right now. Triple digits, and it looks like his windows are blacked out. His or her windows, I should say, blacked out, tinted, so we can't really tell who exactly is behind the wheel and how many people are in the car, right?
Yeah, you know, tinted windows don't mean nothing. We know who's inside, and that is going to be a suspect, a robbery suspect. Looks like we are confirmed going to be staying on this off-ramp out here. This is going to be Avalon. You can see it right there. And that vehicle, we've seen this before, just pushes his way through these areas. Super close, very, very close to a lot of these other cars. We're going to be in the Compton area right now. Now, the Sheriff's Department, I'm sure they've been listening to this. They at least have an idea that this is going on their freeway, making a hard turn there. That's going to be a turn to the north. That car continuing on. Now, this is the thing. Even if he slows down, and hopefully he does, at those high speeds on the freeway, that's one thing. But now when you start these high speeds on surface streets out here, it's going to be very different. I know this road personally. I know there's a lot of potholes, especially in that area where he just got off the freeway. But you can see that car continuing to move, those high speeds, weaving in and out of traffic. Every time he gets so close to somebody else, I just cringe, because you just don't know what the other person is unaware what's going on. A little bit of a hard on the brake there because of a big rig doing their job out here. Very industrial, but we are going to be getting into a residential area if he continues on in this direction. Right now, though, high-speed pursuit, very dangerous, especially when you start running red lights.
Which is exactly what's happening right now.
Yeah, unless, thank goodness he wasn't going 90 miles an hour on that one. But we're going to keep an eye on it for sure. Now, the Sheriff's Department, they do have a helicopter above. They are making the calls right now. They are still trying to get units on the ground. But maybe, hopefully, this car will just kind of come to a stop on its own without an incident, and then they can just kind of follow it, turn it into something else. Right now, though, it's still very dangerous, and hopefully nobody's going to get hurt.
Yeah, I know. When you're driving this recklessly and this fast, you really hope that everybody around you, it's important that they pay close attention and they're making all the right moves as well, and not trying to step in or intervene themselves, because A, this guy's driving crazy, and B, he could potentially, you're hearing, be armed.
Could be armed, and that might be one of the reasons why they're just not letting this go.
Whoa, Stu, look at the speed.
Yes, definitely. And this is not just a maybe. I'm pretty sure that Skyfox is pretty accurate, probably within 10 miles. And even within 10 miles, he was still up to 100 miles an hour right there on Redondo Beach Boulevard. So this guy is very, very dangerous. And this is the thing. Nobody's expecting that. You look in your mirror, you see a car might be behind you. You're going to change lanes. You have no idea that that vehicle is going 100 miles an hour. That's when those problems happen. Somebody innocent might get hurt. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see that suspect get hurt, and that's the truth as well. But right now, this person driving extremely fast out here, keeping in this, we're in the Harbor Gateway area. But again, this is back into the LAPD locations. If they're going to put somebody somebody on it? That is the big question. Even at these high speeds, an LAPD unit on the ground, they would have an extremely hard time just keeping up with this vehicle. And then, of course, they have to follow the rules out here, running another red light. At least it wasn't straight through. But again, these are one of the ones where, we just don't want to see anybody get hurt. And, of course, these high speeds just make everything that much more complicated.
Stu, can you remind us what the guidance is for officers when they choose to do a pursuit like this? Being that this person is going so fast and driving so recklessly, I've seen him at least several times cross the double yellow line, like he is right now.
I don't know if I'm cutting you off or because I've been trying to get a hold of somebody. We lost the IFB. I can't hear anybody at the station right now. But the speeds at least are a little bit slowing down. And you can see this road is a lot less. This is going to be on Figueroa, which is kind of shocking that it is this empty. There is probably some law enforcement in the area right now. Are they going to get behind them? What are they going to do? How are they going to handle it? Those are all the questions right now. It seems to be making a turn, making his way into an area and continuing these slower speeds. I'm wondering if perhaps he has some sort of fuel issue. Looks like there's a dead end right here. This would be giving the opportunity for law enforcement. There you go. Looks like door is open. Door is open, out running, making his way through an alleyway out here. This would be the opportunity for law enforcement to make their move here. Look at this guy run. I mean, geez.
I know. I'm wondering where the law enforcement is in the area, because if he's trying to make it on foot and he went into a dead end area, this would be an ideal time for officers to apprehend him. Where is he going
definitely into? Right through. He's between the buildings right there. Let's see if he comes out. We're going to stay wide right now. But, agile. That guy is like a jackrabbit running around down there.
Like
there he goes, came out the other side. Yep, there, track and field for sure. He missed his calling. You can see he's on a cell phone. That's one of the great things about Skyfox. We can really kind of push in and get a better look at that suspect. He doesn't seem to have a weapon in his hand, but that's not going to solve any of the problems right now. He definitely was on a cell phone, probably trying to make some phone calls, maybe trying to get a hold of somebody so they can basically meet him. Whoop, there you go. There's the 1st California Highway Patrol unit right there out of the vehicle. Now that suspect's got to be at least a little bit exhausted. We're going to keep coming around. Let's see. Oh,
It always happens in undercover, right? It always happens where you can't see it. Hopefully What building is this? Do you know?
I always make that. Yeah, there he is. He's on the ground right there.
Okay.
There it is. You know it's one of my shots when it happens underneath a tree. I always make that joke. When it comes to an end, it's going to be under a tree. That's mine. There you go. You can see those officers from California Highway Patrol. What an amazing work these guys did, and the coordination with that helicopter and these guys on the ground to get this suspect into custody. Amazing. And again, Jen, look at that. Nobody injured. But some really close calls there.
Hats off to the police there, to the officers who are apprehending him right now peacefully. Didn't look like he was resisting arrest at all. And, given how fast and how reckless this guy was driving, pretty impressive that we had no injuries or anything like that. So thank goodness this came to a peaceful end. All right.
Good job by all the law enforcement there and using all their toys. They had that helicopter they were tracking for the longest time. And again, this suspect now in custody, Jen. We'll throw it back to you.
There we go. Thank you, Stu. Peaceful ending. Thank you.